Hi, this is JP Morgan. Today on Slanted Lens, we're going to take a look at why a 50mm lens is the only lens you need for landscape photography. You might wonder why I say that. Well, when I was shooting with Shane Walls, I shot with him several days, Zion and other places in that southern Utah area. He only shot with a 50mm equivalent on his phase back. And I'm going, why do you only shoot with a 50mm lens? Well, here are the reasons why he shoots only, not only, but 90% of his images with a 50mm lens. But first, we're sponsored here today by Datacolor. I carry one of these with me everywhere I go because this Datacolor, it's a great little piece to put in the first frame if you're doing a shoot. I can sample off that 18% gray for that first image. Now it gives me the color I have here, which is a great starting point. I also stick this into the first video clip that I shoot when I'm doing video. Now the editor has a place he can sample off from and you can correct the color and it just makes all your footage look so much better. So Datacolor, Spyder checker, take it with you everywhere you go. But now let's talk about why a 50mm lens. Well, it's sharper. It's a fixed focal length lens. It's got a great fast aperture, most of them. If you get a good 50mm, it's going to give you the same normal view that your eye sees. It's lightweight, so you can carry it with you. It gives you the ability to move around a little bit. It makes you look and study your composition and move. But you know what the most important reason is? Because you can stitch your images together and give yourself a beautiful, large canvas print with great detail by stitching images together, and that's what Shane Walls does. He doesn't shoot it just a single 50mm. Just about every time he's going to shoot three. He's going to shoot middle, right and left. He's going to shoot middle, up and down, and he'll shoot a beautiful stitched image that he'll put together later in Photoshop. Now, there's a reason why that is such an important thing. It gives you a different perspective than, say, a 24mm. So when you're shooting these three image sequences, it doesn't distort the view when you shoot up, middle, and down, because you're giving it all a 50mm normal view in each one of those angles. Now when you stitch those together, it's as if you're looking at that from the same 50mm normal eye view of each one of those images, and now when you put them together, it gives you a very nice flat perspective of that scene. A 50mm shooting in three pieces gives you a curved plane view because your camera's here, you curve over, 1, 2, 3, three normal views, stitched together, gives you a normal curved view perspective of the scene, and they look fabulous. A wide-angle lens works on a flat plane view to give you a larger vista. Now you can say, well, I love this is what I like. That's fine if that's your direction you want to go, but I think the 50mm stitching those together gives you incredible landscape photography, and that's why I think a 50mm lens is the only lens you really need when you're doing landscape photography. If you like this stuff, you should check out his download where he talks about everything he does as far as his camera setup, the way he meters, everything he does to be able to get great landscapes. So the cylindrical perspective works a little better with things that are a bit further away from you. You can have things like in Death Valley, I shot sand dunes where the sand is coming right up to you. That's okay. You can have perspective in the foreground that pushes out to the background, but it's just a matter of sometimes a little more distance is going to make that cylindrical perspective look really good. If you have things really close to you that you really want to be a part of the scene, then you might need to go to a linear perspective to be able to get that. But most of the things I'm shooting, I think that cylindrical perspective looks great. Another quick tip, when I'm going to stitch images together, I always do the first shot with my hand in front of the lens. Now I know that the next three images or four images, how many I shoot, go together. Now I'm going to shoot my images. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 images I'm going to stitch together, and then last thing I do is I'm going to use my hand. I also do not leave it on any kind of autofocus function because it's going to change a little bit your image. I focus the first one. I put it on the manual if I'm using autofocus for the first image, and then I leave it on manual. Remember, you don't have to shoot this panoramic always in a horizontal fashion. If you are in too close, just take this camera, drop it on the side, and do this pano in a vertical. Now, make sure you shoot plenty of images so they'll stitch together correctly. Now you can have a much taller view because if you're in too tight, you're not gonna be able to see the whole scene unless you go to vertical. That works great. So there you go. Get out there and shoot some cylindrical perspective landscape images, stitch them together and see what you think. I think you're gonna like it. So make sure you subscribe to the Slanted Lens here. Keep those cameras rolling and keep on clicking. Hey over there, hey, little help here. I'm feeling green, man. Come on, come over here. I just need you to click on the 18% gray on my Spyder checker. Come on, just go over it. Click on it. Click on it. It's gonna make me look better. There you go. Yeah, just click, click. Ah, there you go. Don't I look better? You should feel better because I look better. It's that easy. So get your Spyder checker in there by Datacolor. It's just that easy. Shoot a few frames of video at the beginning, Click on the 18% gray in editing and you can color balance your footage. You get a great starting point. It's just that easy.